All right, thank you for staying with the Monday Report. The town hall begins right now. We are speaking about Nyota, the National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement Project. And I have some young people with me in studio, more than 20 of them here. Some have benefited, others have not. They'll get to ask all their questions to PS Susan Mangeni, who's the PS for State Department for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development. This evening, we are giving back the microphone to the people so that they ask their questions in their own way and get their own answers direct from the PS. But before we do that, PS, how many people have benefited so far and how much has been disbursed?
Yeah, so thank you. You know, when you talk about this disbursement, I don't know if you're just focusing on the one aspect, one component of Nyota, because Nyota has got about 4 components. We have a component on recognition of prior learning, targeting 20,000 young people between the ages of 18 to 29 and up to 35 years for those who have persons with disability. That one right now, assessment is ongoing, skills assessment across the country in various TVET centers and village polytechnics. Then we are talking about on-job experience. On-job experience where we seek to attach young people who have demonstrated interest in particular sectors to master craftsmen and then later on to employer organization. That one is targeting 90,000 young people across the country in all the 1450 wards. So basically it will be around 67 per ward. That one we already, we are having a pilot, the training taking place in the first cohort, which is the larger, let me just say larger Nyanza region, plus Kericho, Bomet counties, because Nyota is clustered. Then of course, I know the one which everybody wants to hear is the business support, the one which now we targeting to benefit over 120 beneficiaries, and we did the intake. Intake started in March last year. They've gone through training, the first training, classroom training, and now we are disbursing to them the first tranche of the 50,000, which is to support their journey in business, to kick them off. And this one we have already done disbursement as we speak today in 44 counties. We have actually done close to 1,360 wards across the country. We will be completing that cycle this coming Thursday. Wednesday will be in Garissa County, where we expect to benefit more than 2,500 beneficiaries. And then on Thursday, we'll be doing Mandera in the morning, and then later on, around mid-morning, we will be handling the Wajir County. So that one will bring to a close the cycle, the first cycle of the first business tranche. So in terms of how many people have benefited so far, so we were selecting at 120%, so that then we can caution the 70 that you're targeting to benefit in each and every ward. So if you're to look at the 84 per ward whom we were inviting, we have reached out to 121,800 beneficiaries. So of course, during the classroom training, that those ones who are coming probably for 3 days and or 2 days, so you must have attended mandatory 4 days of classroom training.
Yeah.
And actually 75% of classroom training, which is 3 days out of 4 days, that those ones who did the full 4 days, that those ones who just came for 2 days, but we are encouraging them because we cannot disburse to you if you've not done the 3 days out of the 4 days. But for persons with disability, because they are mentorship, so from disbursement they are going to mentorship of about 2 months. Persons with disability, we have we are having a special mentorship that will also include some basic business skills training. So for them, provided they applied, they were selected, they had all the certification that proves that they are persons with disability and we can see them, then they did not have to meet the mandatory classroom attendance of 75% before disbursement. So them we've been disbursing to them.
So that's a general overview of what the Nyota Fund is like. But how many people are targeting and how many have received the business support? So
in terms of the business support, those whom we have granted to, as of the last disbursement, which happened in the lower coastal region, we had disbursed to almost 84,000. 84,000. Now, and the target is 120,000. The target is 121,800. So what will happen is that after we have finished this disbursement, we're going to go back to those that did not complete the 3-day mandatory training, so that they get to complete for us to disburse to them. And by the end, and I think that's work that we're going to do beginning next month, early next month. So after that, we will just disburse to them. We'll have covered the 121,800. All right. There are some who have benefited here, but there are also those who have questions. By a show of hands, how many have direct questions to the PS? Those are the ones we start with. You have the microphone, start with your name, and then let's take direct questions. So I'll take
and they
first
benefited, and they applied.
We'll find out, some of them. So we'll start with your questions. We'll take the first line of questions. PS, I hope you have your pen and paper so that you write the questions and you respond. Start with you. Start with your name.
My name is Tabitha Oluoch from Siasa Place. So I'll go quick with 3 questions. First, what's the percentage when it comes to what percentage of the fund is credit and what is grant? Because as the payers of this credit over time, we have to know the value of money. So we have to be aware what awaits us in the next, let's say 10 years repayment period or 20 years to come. Another thing is Nyota program. Does it have political neutrality policy? Because we now see branded campaigns. It's we have political messaging, party lists and MPs trying to come up with political messaging on these platforms. Do you have a policy on political neutrality? If there is, how do you cap this and how do you go about it? My last question, looking forward, what's your transition plan? Nyota is coming to an end in 2028, right? You talk about incentives, you talk about savings, you talk about job matching platforms. How are we going to go beyond 2028 with these amazing sustainable outcomes that you're talking about? Which institution is going to house this after 2028?
Pass the microphone to the next person who has the questions, then we'll
Thank you. My name
Yes.
My name is Okoth Opondo. I'm a civic educator, and first of all, just to appreciate you for being bold enough to face the nation and have a conversation with us on this critical matter. So for me, the most important thing that I'm really interested to understand, we've had initiatives before like Hustler Fund, we've had Uwezo Youth Fund, we've had the Youth Enterprise Fund and all these other funds. Sometimes the issue is about accountability and transparency. Is there any mechanism or any plan that Kenyans should expect from the ministry and from the government where publications will be done and we can actually trace and know that these are the people who got it, this is what they did with it, so that even in the near future, it also acts as a precedent for other more initiatives that are likely to come like this? I ask this as a very concerned Kenyan who is now worried about the amount of money that we're wasting as a country. And in the other projects, we've seen every day or literally every week, there's always a scandal. Could this be another scandal also boiling and waiting to hit us hard in the near future? Thank you.
Answer those questions first. Start with Tabitha.
Thank you so much. You said, I wanted to begin with your question.
Tabitha said, which percentage is credit and which percentage is grant? Of course.
So, Tabitha, I agree. This is a facility that we access through the support of the World Bank. And it is 229 million USD. If I were to convert that to Kenyan shillings, depending on the current exchange rate, because that's what you go by, we'll be looking at almost 29 billion that you're talking about. So out of this, the way it is structured or it's broken down, we have 100 million, which is a loan facility that we pay with interest, but this interest is concessional. The concessional loan is usually, the interest is usually very low. compared to what you'll get at the market. Then another 100 million, it is a refundable grant. What you call refundable grant, you'll pay. So if I lend you 1,000 shillings, you return to me 1,000 shillings without interest. And then we have 29 million USD. This one comes through the IDA. And this one is targeting the vulnerability. Remember, in this program, we're also supporting refugees. We tend also to support refugees. We support PWD. We support young mothers or those who are likely to become expectant during the entire period of the project. And you know it's happening. And why so? You know, we don't want our young women to be displaced from the project. You've started your business, something happens. So the time which and opportunity that you lose, that we worked out a way through which you can compensate them, what you are calling maternity kind of cover, compensation. They can get access to healthcare and all those that comes with that. Then there is matching up on savings. So the beneficiaries for OJE, which is on job experience, where they'll be earning some sort of a stipend every month to support their transport as they go to workplaces to gain the skills, they'll be earning some transport. So them, they'll be saving at least 720, because we're also in calculating a catch of saving for the very purpose that even you asked, what is the sustainability, what is the scalability, how do you transition now these people? So then, of course, and then to take care of the refugee and the host communities, because they are young people, they're residing in our space, in our country. When they go back, eventually if they go back to their country, they have to begin a life. But as they reside, like the two gazetted camps of Dadaab and Kakuma, they are the host community in which they reside with. So you cannot empower refugees and not the host community. So that's the breakdown of the funding as you heard us.
So still on that percentage of credit and grant, so have you worked out how much we're going to pay as a country?
So we are paying the 200 million USD. We will refund the 100 million grant,
in terms of
which has no interest, and we'll also refund the 100 million. The interest is 1.5.
For how long?
That's the language. But this concessional is usually takes some time. Concessional will take maybe a period of from 25, 30 years and above. But then this other one, which is short term, is one which can take maybe around less than 25 years. You start paying the refundable grant. But again, like I've said, these are most of these facilities, because they come through World Bank, usually you can always negotiate around them. And that's why it's called concessional financing. It's not like what we go to the market and get from them.
But as you're disbursing to the young people, they are not taking it.
They're not. For
them, it's a grant.
It is a grant. So what we want young people to do, they will, of course, refund indirectly. How are they refunding indirectly? If, let's say, what did you say your name? Tabitha here. Benefits from it, starts her business. First of all, she creates her own job. That's refunding us, because we want this money to generate economic value to Tabitha. If she starts doing something that can occupy her so that she participates in the economic well-being of this country, she is refunding the loan. Now, Tabitha begins a business that probably expands, because we're also going to do some sort of linkages, serious linkages to our entrepreneurs who have been granted. And then eventually, she also gets to employ people either directly or indirectly.
Okay.
That's how you get to refund this money, because we refund through our taxpayers from the revenue that we collect. So,
okay, but as
but they're not refunding, it's grant, they're not refunding.
But as the accounting officer, so now we know we have 29 billion, 100 million is a loan, 100 million is a grant. At the end of the period we've been given, which you said is how long?
So
5 years?
Concessional loan can take even more than 25, 30 years, it depends. This is a long-term loan.
So how long will we have paid? How much will we have paid?
So, but we start paying, okay. So the one which has got the interest, for example, Trevor, we start pay. First of all, you pay the commitment. So we're already paying some sort of commitment interest rate. And that's why whenever you take this loan, you need to make sure that you absorb quickly. Of course, absorbing, it means that you need to put it to intended, you know, if you wanted to support young people, you need to prepare young people so that they start running with their businesses. Okay. Because the country will start servicing the commitment fee you pay on the loans. But thereafter, once they mature, short-term loans sometimes can mature within 10 years, 25 years, depending, and the long-term loan. Yeah. And remember, it's not me who do this mechanism, because now we have Treasury, which does this. But the long-term loan, which takes more than 30 years, even 40 years to repay, it also depends with the countries and how our economy is growing. Okay. And sometimes, from time to time, you can negotiate out, you know, or you can pay very fast and finish, depending on what you have.
Davida's next question was, does it have political neutrality policy?
Yeah, so the political, and I don't know which part of it is UDA, number one.
Most of the people are branded, they look like they have political connotations.
Well, I have not seen any political connotation to it. But let me say this, Trevor.
It's all right. Let us.
Yes, I've not seen. Let me say this. I am the one who is inviting all the leaders across political divide from that particular clusters. I do invitation in time to all leaders. If they are members of parliament, to all of them. If they are governors, to all of them. Senators, to all of them, to attend the disbursement forum. That those ones we've seen, some who are in opposition, they come and they have an opportunity. Some who feel that they don't want to come, some of them have called me and say, no, we don't want to come there, we don't want to come and give you credit, we don't want to come here, as I don't know, we are this term or we are the other term. So in terms of neutrality, we do invitation to all of them, inviting them to come, and they have an opportunity to talk to these young people. Okay. But that those ones who choose to come, that those ones who refuse to come. Secondly, and there are here beneficiaries, some who applied, probably they got, some who did not apply. During the application process, there was nowhere where someone asked you whether you belong to this party or the other party. Okay. We have seen in some of the disbursement, I've seen now in social media after disbursement, seeing people who are seen to belong to even the opposition also expressing, oh, we've come here, like when we were in Nyeri. I saw there was a young lady there who was so happy. What did we hear after 2 days? Oh, she has been, I don't know, suspended from this point. That point is when you know, oh, so she belonged to another political, you know, persuasion. We did not know until then. So there is no political messaging here. Now, what is happening is this. Okoth, you asked us about transparency. And you said we've had initiative. You've even highlighted initiative like Hustler Fund and what. You see, because this has been a purely digital process, these young people have applied using their phone. Nobody told them, it's just them and their phone. We did verification so that the whole country can come and see that indeed in this ward, we have these young people who have applied for this project. Then after that, they were subjected to EAT. Again, it is just your phone. At that point, nobody knows where you come from. It is your own initiative. Then we came to training. They've been coming to training. Nobody holds your hand, apart from the disabilities who, of course, they have to come with their caregivers. So when it comes to disbursement, right now, if we were not disbursing in the public, Trevor, right now you'll be asking me, well, who are the beneficiaries? You've seen the beneficiaries in those classes, and that's why we call upon people, come and witness that these are the beneficiaries. Okay. So there are no political messaging in this. Okay. We invite everybody. And if tomorrow, I've always said, now we are going to Garissa, the opposition leaders are free to join us. Okay. they get a space and also mentor these young people.
All right. Okoth asked whether this is a scandal in waiting before I bring in the next. Okoth asked you directly, is this a
That's why
scandal?
I don't know why it is a scandal. What part of it will be scandal when you can see beneficiaries?
Okay. All right.
And I don't know, when people talk about scandal, these processes are so transparent. You don't need to know anyone. It is you yourself and the phone, and every young person had a chance to be selected from this project. Yeah, so I don't know why someone says it's a scandal. I'm waiting to see that part of scandal. Will this be?
Yeah, you'll get a chance for rebuttal, but let's hear from them first, then I'll come to you. Yes.
My
Start
name
with
is
your name.
My name is Jennifer Mbogo. I'm a youth leader from Embu County.
Yes.
And just maybe to bring you into how scandalous this is gonna be. So my first question would be, what informed 50,000? You gave guys hustler fund as low as 500 shillings, and you had a defaulters of up to more than 68%. So if you give me small money, I don't return. I come to you, you give me double. To me, that doesn't make sense. Again, and the way you're saying the process is very seamless in terms of qualifications. Amongst us, they're beneficiaries of this Nyota fund. One of the qualifications I read is you're looking at the very, the one who's not even gone to school. You said in an interview a Form 4 leaver, maybe who didn't get to proceed. Amongst the people who are sitting here, I can tell you I've graduated with one of them. One of them is a graduate of Kenyatta University, and that's a loophole in itself. From our engagement here, we are classmates, desk mates, we know them. And the biggest champions are people we've gone to school and graduated.
And they're here.
They're here. I won't point.
So can we call the police to come and arrest them?
No, the money
because it's a cheat.
No, what we will find out is how you verify that someone is just a Form 4 leaver and hasn't gone beyond.
I won't say it because, free money for the comrades. Then you call it a grant. So I would want you to also be very honest by saying this is going to give a very big burden to the country in terms of paying debt. We are trying, you're going to increase, eventually you're giving them money, by 2029 taxes go up. Then you're back in the streets. So is this a circle? Then maybe just to put it finally, World Bank. World Bank, I went into research about this Nyota fund, and I've heard you also say before that this has been success in other countries. So in 2023, June 9, World Bank approved in Bangladesh same kind of program called Youth Employment Skill Program, AN, in 2023. Now it's 2026, 3 years down the line. The biggest challenge with the youth of Bangladesh, this one you just go and Google in your phone, is employment and labor market. Considering they were not even given cash. For them, it was so seamless. They were not given 22,000 per person to manage. You had to come with a project and it's funded. The challenge you want to solve, in quotes, I don't think it's going to solve the employment, because as a result of what Bangladesh did, the youth unemployment, age 15 to 19, is higher than the national average, roughly 8 to 9%, significantly above the general unemployment rate, which is 3%. So are we copying from the last person in class? Because,
all right.
They've been failure stories. So
can I take that?
Okay.
Yeah.
You can answer directly, briefly, because you're trying to
let me answer directly that.
Yeah. What informed 50,000?
First of all, I think let me answer what informed 50,000 after we hear from the beneficiaries first. Because I know in this room we have beneficiaries.
Yes.
Because you see, our good lady from Embu, you say your name is?
Jennifer.
Jennifer, you see, what you see as a little money could be more money to someone else. Now, I will answer that question after we heard from beneficiaries what informed 50,000 and whether 50,000 is a reality or not. Already 2 weeks ago, actually last week on Monday, what did the InfoTrack find out from Kenyans? 77% say it's very sufficient. So what you consider as not being sufficient to someone else, it could even be sufficient depending on where you're sitting and where they're sitting. Now on Bangladesh, I don't want you to go to Bangladesh. Nyota project is a scale-up of KYOP. KYOP was in this country up to 2022. Well, we have success stories. I have met success stories of Kenyans, and then the grant was even 40,000. The KYOP was targeting only 17 counties and not the entire country. I know of KYOP beneficiaries that have accompanied us to go to East Africa MSME Trade Fair, who are doing value addition, who've been able to grow. They gain an entry into it through that 40,000. They put the ideas together. From there, they scale up their business. They can now access facilities from banks, and they're growing their businesses all over. So when you go to Bangladesh and you bring here in Kenya, we already have success stories. Secondly, when you're talking about the issue of the youth employment, the first thing you want to ask yourself, who will create jobs? So this project has got two pipelines. Actually is a pipeline for job creation that has got two pathways. The first one targets to enhance youth employability by looking at their skills and how we can enhance their skills to become competitive in the job market. And that's why we have the RPL, the recognition of prior learning. People have got existing skills. Yeah. What they lack is just certificate to become more competitive. The other bit is where now you have an interest in a certain sector. We attach you so you learn from job. You gain necessary experience, exposure, so that either you can begin your own business or you become more competitive at finding job. Now the second pathway is where we are expanding youth employment opportunity through entrepreneurship. Now I agree that we are faced with the high unemployment in this country. But equally also, we have a high youth bulge. If you live in a country of more than 70% are young people, and we're growing younger and younger every day, a section of those young people have to become job creators. And that's why now entrepreneurship has become an opportunity where, yes, we are looking for jobs, but some of these young people have to be supported to start coming up with enterprises that create jobs for themselves, yeah, or jobs for other young people. So it's not a question of it's not working here. Where will jobs cannot drop from heaven? The verification process. How do you ensure that this is a Form 4 leave and graduate like they're saying? So now, it was self-reporting. And I know like any other system, if you're saying you have colleagues who said, who cheated, it will be good to see them so that then we take action on them. No, we have to take action on them because so what was happening. So when you apply, you say you're a this is what you're doing. There's no verification. And some of them, let me give you these numbers. So when we did the initial application window, because we rolled out 2 windows, the first one we attracted almost 1.4 million applicants. The first application window, and that one. When we did now the assessment, there's some probably who are smart, they'll go through. But you see, you start by, of course, in terms of age, we were getting, because you could not also apply if you are not a youth. We'll get the 18 to 29 and up to 35 for persons with disability. So when it comes to education, we found a whopping 200,000 of them had college and university qualification. How did we get that? As you answer these questions, it comes a point where without knowing, you will just report whether you are a graduate or not. So then we had to clean up the data. And so to clean up almost 300 of those who are overqualified, because if you put university, I think we had about almost more than 100,000, and the rest had at least a qualification beyond either certificate or diploma. So we cleaned up. But what I can tell you, looking majority of the people, maybe there must be a margin of error in terms of reporting here and there, but most of the people that we have seen around, even during disbursement, most of them are either dropouts or they never went to school. And I said most of them. Or their only qualification is Form 4 certificate. All right. Yes, you have a microphone.
Hello, I'm Policia Wahu from Kiambu, Kabete, Guitar Ward. I'm a Nyota beneficiary and a KYOP beneficiary. Let me answer her. I joined KOP. I went to school for hairdressing. I'm a salonist by professional. Then I got employed as a hairdresser. Then when I heard about Nyota, I applied for me to get a grant for me to be able to open my own business. So I've answered her. My question to you comes here. In Kiambu County, our president told us about license. Yes, I got the money. I bought everything I needed. Not everything. Some of the things I need, the basics. Still, I need some other equipment. Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not able to open my business because, yes, I succeeded on buying the equipment, the basic equipments. But when it comes to license, Kanjo, watanisumboa. So I've had to close it. Please work on it. We need, I and my team of Gitaru, Kabete, I'm speaking of people of Kiambu County, we need the license or we need the permit for us to be able to open the business. Yes, we have bought the basic things we need and still, as we are still waiting for the other money, ndo tuweze kubuy the other equipment I need.
So your name is?
Polisha Wahowangoi.
Polisha.
Yes.
Okay.
Please note, she acknowledged that she's going to hire learning.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, let's hear from Wanjiku also. Yeah.
Thank you, Trevor. My name is Wanjiku Thega. I'm the National Youth Leader, DCP. I'm also an abduction survivor.
National?
Wanjiku. National Youth Leader, DCP.
Okay.
Yes. First of all is to acknowledge the work you've done, especially before with the Youth Fund. And I think you are able to see the difference, especially because I don't understand why it feels like every time you guys are launching Nyota, because there's always a razzmatazz around it. The president has to be there. We rarely see you. It's always the president who has to be there. And if a function is about it's presidential, then look at the budget. The event has to be about 100 million with logistics. So who exactly gets to pay for this? Where does this money come from? Is it the public pass? Is it from the Nyota grant? We need accountability on that. And I think the president and I think state has communicated very effectively how they are supposed to reduce wastage of money, of public pass. But yet again, we see the opposite. With Youth Fund, President Kibaki only launched it once, isn't it, in KICC? Every time it's like we are relaunching Nyota because it's big, the razzmatazz and everything. Again, it's 2026. We are digitally savvy, we are technologically savvy. Young people can receive that funding from wherever they are. Why are you congregating them? Why does there have to be a big function around it?
Okay.
If young people are receiving money, and I know you've addressed that issue about, you want to show you the beneficiaries, you don't need to show us. If there are young people around us, mtu atakushow, but then may get Nyota. Kama sija get Nyota, atutaskia. So you don't need to do all that. We are wasting money. And we have a lot of gaps with health, education, everything. I know, maybe we might need to address the gaps again around it.
Okay.
Again, if this project fails, then who takes the responsibility for it? We've talked about this is it's a loan that you're going to pay. So are we Kenyans going to pay for a failed project?
Okay.
At the end of the day.
All right. Pass the microphone to him. He's the one who gave you the microphone. Let's hear what he has to say. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, it's a pleasure to be here.
You don't want me to take those ones?
They were mostly comments, but let's take the last one. Then let's take the last one. Then I'll take a break. Then I'll come back with you responding to them.
Okay, thank you, Madam PS. My name is Walter Odiwa. I'm a Nyota beneficiary.
Yeah.
Okay, my questions is one, when are we going to receive
the second one?
The remaining? Then number two, there's because we are told that it is being disbursed in 2 phases.
Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
No better explanation has been given on how this 3,000 is being catered for.
The savings.
And then another thing, for those of us who had an existing business, during the launching, we were told that we won't be, there's something called the tax waiver, that we won't be paying tax for a particular period of time. So those of us who had an existing business, are we going to continue paying that particular tax, or there's something that's going to be done?
Okay.
So I have to take a quick break, but let me hear from Walter, because now that you say that you are a beneficiary, there are many people who say that this money is not sufficient. As someone who's a beneficiary, does this money help? Is it enough to start a business?
Okay, that's a very good question, Trevor. Money is money. Even now, 1 shilling is money. So, and then it's very, very important to start from somewhere as you go somewhere. So initially, we didn't get that 22,000 anywhere.
Jennifer doesn't think that money is enough.
Jennifer is not
with her,
Yeah.
she doesn't think.
Targeted
But with us as the beneficiary,
Let me hear
you.
from the beneficiary.
He's not
Yes.
a potential.
Yeah.
Remember, Trevor, we didn't get an opportunity to get this money before. But this time round, we've gotten 22,000. And sure, even as a fruit vendor, okay, I am a photo mantic person. That money has helped me to progress from somewhere to somewhere. I can testify for that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Very brief.
I'm a Nyota beneficiary. I said that I did not have a blow dry, chairs, products, hairs. I got the 22,000. Who else out there can just come and give you shika for out of nowhere? It cannot be that way.
Okay.
So maybe you want 100,000, but to me, that 22,000, that 50,000, even if they divided by 2, one thing is Nyota Fund has helped us to understand being an entrepreneur, not a business person. That is number 1. Number 2, they're trying to train us on how to be disciplined and to think further, not to just see big. No one comes from big to small. You come from small to big.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Trevor, can I respond?
You respond after the break. I wanted to hear the sentiments first. I have to take a quick commercial break, and then I come back. And the upper deck has not said anything, so
Yeah,
we'll come
I
back to them in just a short while as well. Hold your horses. Be brief when we give you a chance so that you get as many people as possible. This always happens in all the town halls. So we are back in just a short while. Keep your views coming as well at Trevor Mbija at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Citizen Man Report. See you in just a bit.